Hey everybody, this is Matthew T. Robinson from the AI Horror Stories podcast and AIHorrorStories.com. We've been using all of these new mediums to tell stories, and this anime workflow that I've been putting together has got to be one of my favorites. So let's get right into it. As the title suggests, I'm going to show you how to make your very own anime scenes from scratch using AI. Now, we got a lot of major names you'll have heard from other workflow tutorials. In this video, we're going to be using Midjourney, Gen 2 by Runway, After Effects, Animate CC, Merf.AI, and Adobe Premiere, which I know is a lot, but by the end of the video, you'll know how to make your very own AI anime scenes like this one.
ここで何をしているの？それは残念でした。私たちは友達になれると思った。一晩泊まる場所はどこにありますか？ああ、いや、これは良さそうです。
Alright, now let's get right into it. This is our timeline for where we're at right now in Premiere in the sequence. Our main character here is about to walk into this inn as he's looking for a room, so we're going to need him either walking in, bursting in, kicking down a door, or just entering the interior in some capacity, right? So let's feed some prompts for interiors into Midjourney with our character referenced, with him moving inside of an interior that fits our old ancient village inn theme here. Okay, some nice stuff here. We're going to leave those images alone for now and create some character art to build a scene. Find something you like for a character image. I'll just use an existing generation that I was working on, but really you could do this with any image of your character that you can get from Midjourney, and I'll show you how in a second. And this part you could also do in Photoshop as an alternative too. I just use After Effects a lot because I'm used to it, right? So we're just going to roto-mask this character out real quick, throw it on a green solid that we create in After Effects, bounce out that as a PNG, and then feed that back into Midjourney to generate more easily keyable images of our character. This is going to give us a lot of high quality assets with simple backgrounds that we can use for character images. We like this one here, so we're going to save that. And while we do this, we can drop a few of these sample images we generated a second ago of our character walking in an interior into Runway Gen 2 and see if that gives us anything nice. That'll take a while, so I like to just let those run in the background and see if we can get anything good that can be used for the narrative out of it. In the meantime, now that we've generated some character images that we like, we'll get to cutting them out and putting them on our correct background, which is the inn interior with the innkeeper. So there are a couple ways you can go about cutting out your character. You could do it in Photoshop, or since we're going to be scene building in After Effects, you could do it in After Effects too, like I am right now. One option is to use the roto brush, which will mask a lot of shapes and really defined edges well, but it has trouble on thin or detailed areas like hair. If your character has detailed hair like this one, you can always manually mask like I am here, just by drawing a mask with the pen tool. Okay, by the time we finish that, the runway images are done generating and we can take a look. Okay, so not a lot of movement here, but we'll generate another and we'll leave it going for a while. Okay, back in After Effects, our cutout image is looking pretty good. The one here looks like it's keyable with roto brush, so we'll just do that real quick and then drop it right into our scene. Okay, the hair doesn't look fantastic on him, so we're going to do a little mask around the whole thing with the pen tool, and we're just going to feather the hair a little bit. This is going to help that area look more real, especially if we go into After Effects and drop a camera lens blur on our foreground element, the character here. We're just going to live keyframe by highlighting the little stopwatch buttons on our scale and position controls, and we're going to map our guy slowly moving away from the camera, just up and down here by changing his position throughout the timeline. We're gonna add some additional motion to the scene just to sell the effect, you know, just a quick little pan across everything with all the other motions happening at once, and then we'll drop that into our sequence. Okay, so let's pull in some footsteps here to help sell the scene a little more. We'll slow them down and lower the volume on them to make the effect kind of subtle. And then we'll drag in a second or two from our Gen 2 runway generation to show him walking into an interior. So we'll use the original image of our innkeeper as our character's POV shot before he speaks, and then let's just keep working straight into a conversation between the two of them inside the inn. So we hop back into Midjourney and generate some more face shots of our character and reference our character assets here. Once we've got a good face shot that we like, we're going to take it back into AE and cut it out with the roto tool real quick. Throw it on one of our Midjourney backgrounds, throw on that camera blur, and then we're going to want to get into putting a moving mouth on this guy for some dialogue. There are a couple ways that we can approach this. One is just drawing the mouth yourself in Animate CC. The other, much easier, almost cheating way, is to just find a mouth asset for free online. YouTube has a whole bunch of them. You can just type in cartoon mouth, moving, green screen assets, and find what you need to key out a mouth and drop it on, right? You can see back here the difference as this shot I drew in Animate CC, and this one I just dropped on an asset I found online. Drawing it yourself can always help give you some subtlety, but both are totally acceptable. Animate CC is great for doing that stuff that just isn't working in After Effects with just basic keyframing. You can draw and stuff and move around eyeballs and appendages, or redraw aspects of your character's face a lot easier if you just hop in. Look up a tutorial on some of the basic controls. It's worthwhile addition to just add into the workflow. We'll take the easy way out for this shot, and we'll drop one of those existing mouth assets onto our character, but first we need to get rid of his current mouth. So in After Effects, we're just going to duplicate our character layer, mask off an area of the new duplicate layer's face in the shape of the mouth we're trying to cover, and then we'll just scale it up a bit, cover the mouth, and drop our new moving mouth asset over it. Now we can parent all of those layers together by dragging the parent tool from each of them, and now they'll all move with the main image. And we can add that subtle motion drift and lens blurs over everything that helps sell the shot. So we'll export that and we'll drop it all in now and see how that looks. Okay, so now we need a reaction shot from the barkeep from our character's point of view. So let's generate some new innkeeper character images that match what we've established, and then we'll take her right into AE to roto key her out. We're gonna bounce that with a PNG and alpha again, and we could have her speaking back to our character here, but instead we're going to give her just a classic dumbfounded reaction. Let's say our character immediately said something insulting to her, right? And for that we're just going to use some simple elements in Animate CC. So after we've keyed her out, we'll drop her PNG into Animate CC, and we'll just generate a circle, just with the shape tool here on the left that has a white inside and a black line border. So then we'll duplicate that to cover both of her eyes, giving her that, you know, anime shocked aesthetic. I like to draw a little pupil nub in them here, but there's no right answers, whatever sells your story. Well, then we'll give her that little plus thing, and we'll just animate it for a few keyframes getting larger. Copy those in the opposite direction to shrink down, and we'll duplicate all of it so it repeats a couple times, and then there's the effect. So we'll export that, put it in our scene, add that subtle motion and camera blur, export the whole thing, and then drop it into Premiere for the main cut. I found this nice little sound that I think really helps sell the effect that I'm going to copy over and drop underneath it here. You got to remember that sound is your best friend in something like this. You can sell anything with audio. So many animes utilize still image assets in their scenes because audio is just doing the heavy lifting, right? So audio and clever B-roll are your best friends in something like this. But now we've got to come up with something offensive that he's saying to her. Let's say he calls her a wench or something and she's immediately heated. You'll have to forgive me for using Google Translate here, but I'm just going to run it into Japanese, double check it, and then bring that over into Merf.AI, which is such a cool site. You can generate AI voices in just about any style using this. Definitely recommend that. And then we'll bring that in and sync it up in Premiere. Okay, after we're happy with the positioning of our dialogue, we'll add in the subtitles. I like to use yellow with black borders. It looks more readable and classic to me. And there you have it. Let's take a look at what we made.
ここで何をしているの？それは残念でした。私たちは友達になれると思った。一晩泊まる場所はどこにありますか？ああ、いや、これは良さそうです。こんにちは、ウェンチ。私には部屋が必要です。
Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more AI films, behind the scenes, and check out our weekly anthology horror podcast on our site, aihorrorstories.com, or all streaming wherever you get your podcasts, or on YouTube, just right on our channel. So check it out. See y'all.